Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Hello and welcome back to the ARCA Sparks. Tonight we're going to be at beautiful Daytona International Superspeedway. This race is going to be sponsored by TWRS. This is indeed round 9. I'm your host, Big Al, joined in the booth by none other than Mr. James Watson. James, how you feeling tonight, man? Tell us what you got going on and just energize us.
Oh, I'm looking forward to tonight, Big Al. It's our first Super Speedway race of the season. It's going to be our first opportunity to see how the competitors in the ARCA Sparks series will draft amongst each other and how they will battle it out to try to take the checker flag here at the World Center Speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of guys here tonight that have a little something to prove, because look, we got a pretty good sized field here tonight. We got ourselves set up. It's gonna be 175 miles, I do believe. So you got the actual setup put down. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that and what we can expect to see from our beloved as we run around this course?
Sorry, Big Al, my audio cut out. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, man. Why don't you tell us what we can expect? Like when you were setting up this setup here, I mean, did you have to go back to the drawing board? Was this something that really kind of you just pulled off the shelf? And from that, what kind of racing can we expect to see? Is this going to be one where these guys are actually touching, or are they going to be in a draft bubble? I mean, because I don't think we've seen these cars on this track before.
Yeah, well, this is actually the fixed iRacing baseline set, so it's gonna be set to basically, you know, just a traditional pack race setup. You know, we're gonna have a big draft. Bump drafting, it's hard to say because from what I've always understood in real life, these cars are a bit difficult to get close enough to bump draft with each other. There's this pocket of air that you get from the front of the trailing car to the rear of the leading car, so it's a little bit difficult to really kind of suck up to the rear of that other car. They kind of call it the beach ball effect, so it'll take a pretty big run to be able to close that gap.
Absolutely. This race right here, Daytona, Florida, track only 2.5 miles, 70 laps on the race lane. Pit speed's going to be 55 miles an hour or 89 kilometers an hour. 100% fuel in the tanks, 4 sets of tires behind the wall with a fixed setup, and you really don't get much more than that. Looks like practice is over. Qualifying has just begun. Going to give ourselves a chance to see who's going to put themselves up top tonight. Looking at the leaderboard in the point standings, we've got Ruben Phelps sitting up top. Paul Osen still sitting there in second place, followed closely by Kenny Powell. Chris Rivera is going to be holding that 4th spot. David Gervais sitting there tucked in 5th with Greg Wilczynski in 6th. Jeff Engler coming in 7th with Matt Brith in 8th. 9th place going to be Matthew Cisna and Jerry Walters, going to be some 166 points behind the leader in the top 10. Man, lots going on there. Now we're watching to see who's going to be putting in these times. Do you think the fastest time is going to come on the first lap or the second lap? Let us know there, please, James.
It's probably going to be the second lap. You know, the playbook for qualifying here at the Super Speedways is always run up by the wall on the out lap and the first lap to build up as much speed as you can, and then stick it right there down onto the double yellow line and just hold that the whole way through lap 2. Trying to keep as pretty of a wheel as you can, trying to not scrub off too much speed and maximize the most pace out of these cars.
Indeed, man. So just like that, qualifying still going on. Still waiting to see the first laps come in. Right on board with, I do believe that is Chris Severa. That's actually Sebastian Manhandling. Shandon. Man, that's awesome. Sorry about the slaughtering of the name there. But man, Memorial Day here in the States, so this is a great race to kind of kick off Memorial Day weekend, don't you think?
Absolutely. You know, there's nothing more American than a big old pack race with a whole bunch of cars under a blanket and one little issue who causing a massive pileup, destroying all the cars on the track. God bless America.
We would actually refer to that one as the big one, and hopefully that does not happen. Time's coming in now. Matty Cisna looking like he's posted the fastest time overall with Kim Ruffy in second. Sebastian Manhandling is going to be there in third. That's not manhandling. It's manhandling. I got it. I'm sorry. Jerry Walters in fifth. Man, so yeah, definitely starting to see some times roll in. Is this about what you were expecting it to be? Any big surprises here, or is this about status quo?
Not really. You know, there's nothing ever truly surprising about Superspeedway qualifying because, you know, it's really just foot to the floor and just trying to be as easy on your inputs as possible. So it just like Superspeedway racing in general, it's always going to be such a crapshoot. You're never truly going to know. So because of that, you're never truly surprised at what you see.
Yeah, crapshoot's definitely going to be the word that we can expect to see here tonight, guys. And it's going to be all sorts of mischief going on. I just can't wait until we can come back here, get it going. Right now, just wrap it up. Qualifying, going to get it in the books. But in the meantime, it looks like we're going to take a brief step away. Going to get and grab a couple words from our sponsors, guys. And we'll be back here with the gridding and the night's continued coverage of the ARCA Sparks.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
And we are back with the gridding of tonight's ARCA Sparks 175. Big Al's up here in the booth, joined by none other than Mr. James Watson. And we are gridded up, getting ready to go here. Starting first is going to be none other than Mr. Craig Raffy, putting in himself the best time of a 51.402 on his outside. It's going to be Lachlan Orcuzio with a 51.413. Matty Raymond starts on that second row in third place, along with Brenton Henderson in fourth. Fifth place is going to show you Matthew Budd with Sebastian Manhandling in sixth. Seventh place is going to be Matty Cisna. He's going to have Ruben Phelps on his outside. Jerry Walters is going to start in ninth. with Jake Saddington rounding out the top 10.
And in row 6, we have Derek Jacobs in the 27 and the 7 of Kim Rafi. Row 7 features the 4 of Matt Brith and Chris Severa down in, not the qualifying effort we expect from Severa right there in 14th. 15th, we have Greg Wachinski and Kenny Powell. 45 of Paul Olson and the 144 of Perry Anastakis in 18th. Jeff Engler in the 25 and Ryan Barber in the 05 on row 10. And we have Devin Baker rounding out the field in 21st.
Yeah, 21 cars here tonight, all lined up here, trying to make it happen, trying to find some points, trying to find some freedom, trying to find some fame. This is literally Memorial Day weekend, kicking off the summer here in the States, probably starting off the winter down low. So it's kind of, good hands from bad hands, right? Just depending on where you're looking at it from.
Pretty much, yeah, and that's the thing about super speedway racing too. Is so much of it is luck based. Like, you can put your car in the best position, and even still, it won't be enough. Just not a good enough run. Get caught up in the wreck. So you just gotta hope that the cards are in your favor tonight.
Yeah, definitely. There's gonna be a lot of guys in the points that are gonna be trying to make hey, while the sun's shining, if you will, even though the sun's not out. This is a sanctioned night race. But this is one of those races where you literally are going to go big or go home. If you don't find yourself in a good spot, this could totally ruin your spot, but your points. But if you're in the right spot and you get that lucky, this could change your season. Lights off on the pace car. He's going to be getting out of the way here momentarily. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be kicking it up live here in the ARCA Sparks 150. Ray's got the flag in his hand. Craig Rafi's got the field in his. Going through the Geico restart zone, wasting no time getting it going. Rafi out to a good start's going to have the 42 of Lackland Urquio pulling up by his outside right now. That outside line looks like it is wasted no time getting folded. They seem to have the speed. Inside down low, though, starting to bunch up. Everybody seems to be going good through the top 5 and maybe the top 6 and the bottom 6. So right now, that's going to be the rub. What are you thinking, man? The more guys are going to go high on this thing and more guys going to low? I think we answered my own question as everybody breaks low, starting to go single file early on in this one.
Yeah, it just kind of depends right now what the SRM cars are going to do. Like, you've got 4 of them already down in the inside, and then you've got another 2 up on the top side. We see Cisna maybe trying to see if he can get around, try to lead that outside line, but jumps back in line right there on the inside.
Yeah, actually had a 3-wide situation brewing right there, but hey, it's worked itself out. The 4 car goes high. He almost makes contact with the wall coming back in. Everybody's shuffling down right now. Looks like the top line's going to crap, so everybody's ditching the high side, going to go low down in the slums there, looks like. Except for the 15. He believes in the dream. Him and the 4 car, they're going to try to make it work. They're going to stay out there through the tough times, just them two sticking it out through thick and thin. They're going to make sure that love wins. Love wins overall. Maybe if they just stay out there, they can lure more people into the traditional sense. Maybe get more people married, kind of coupling up right here. Come on, guys. Make it. Oh, nope. And then there was one.
Yeah, poor Saddington. He tried to get down, but just couldn't join the rest of the SRM contingent down on the inside. He is all by himself.
Okay, now he comes down. So this is kind of what I was expecting to see here. I was expecting to see drivers come down, get in a single file capacity, kind of just kind of keep the cars cool, keep the nose clean, if you will, because these cars don't breathe good when they're all bunched up together, right? It's always one of those kind of situations. So now that we are actually getting it fanning, it's going to look like a 500-mile road trip. Caution's out. What? Oh, and they were balling them up.
Wreck in the back.
I'm going to let you unpack this. I can't even watch it. Wow.
Yeah, looks like it's like right around
teeth.
Yeah, right around that little cluster with Saddington and the four of Matt Brith. Oh. Okay. Wow, big netcode hit from Anastaka.
And those are the two guys that were kind of standing out there trying to make it work. It's kind of ironic how they kind of make contact with each other in line. And then poor Olsen had nowhere to go. Just going to eat the front end off of that 45. And that is definitely going to be anything but positive for his points run. Looking at it from his perspective right there, as you can see, he's just alone. Well, that wasn't Olsen. Actually, that was a 4-car.
Yeah.
But he has lost his nose as well. So, man, just a lot of...
it just looked like the Ford just went up about half a lane up into the 15 and just took both of them out. And Anastakis and Olsen were just the innocent bystanders with just absolutely nowhere to go. That is strange. Go on, Big Al.
Yeah, Matt Brith ends up with a repairs required flag, and Anastakis ends up with a black flag, probably because he crossed the line there coming off of pit road. But everybody else seems to be cosmetically altered.
Yeah, honestly, Perry kind of got the better end of that. He doesn't look damaged at all. The black flag, though, that's gonna hurt. Especially since I'm not entirely sure we do black clears for situations like this.
Nope.
Oh, it looks like Craig just missed his box a little bit, had to back up.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's going to cost you positions here. You know, as we were talking about track positions, some guys elect to not to qualify. But if you're really, really going to get into it, it's all about pit position to me. You want to have your pit box as close to the end as possible because it kind of gives you the opportunity to kind of block late, if you will. I don't know. Just something to think about.
Yeah, and it's good that Rafi gets that little mishap out now, you know, on lap 6 when it's significantly easier to recover from that. He only lost, honestly, I don't even think he lost a position from that. So it's much better to do that now in like a top up pit like this as opposed to a green flag stop where a mistake like that costs you the draft and potentially costs you the race.
So what are you thinking? Are you thinking this is like maybe one of one? I mean, is this a one-off, or maybe is this just the start of seeing that this is how we thin the herd? Now that incident occurred further in the back, but I mean, I still think we got the probability of seeing a little tango up front too, and that's going to be far more catastrophic. So, do you think that this is more indicative of what's to come, or you think it was just an incident?
I think it's probably going to be an isolated incident because you saw the whole pack was pretty much single file outside of that little cluster. So I feel like we're probably going to get single file here again pretty soon, especially with all the SRM cars up there. They're just going to be working together. and just try to occupy as much of the same space that they can to kind of up their chances on controlling this race. So it really depends on how aggressive the rest of the field want to be to try to break up that SRM power play we got going on.
Yeah, that SRM power play. That's awesome. I like the way you see that and the way you called that. I don't necessarily see it that way, but you know, that's good. I do believe there's a lot of factors going on here. I mean, you got the G&G guy to second place in the points now. Although Paul was involved in that last skirmish, you know, I don't think that actually counts him out. Lights off on the pace car. Field's doubled up, getting ready to go green again. This will be for the second time here, the first restart of the night. Going to be interested to see if the restart is anything like the first start of the race, right?
And look at Paul Olsen. That car does not look like it was involved in the first wreck of the night. That car looks pretty well put back together.
Well, that's awesome. That's exactly what we'd like to see from the 45. Kind of hoping that Paul can have a strong showing here tonight and get some much-needed points and maybe close that gap there that's between him and the leader of the field, Ruben Phelps. Also, depending on how this thing goes, you could see some big movements coming from maybe a Chris Severa, maybe a Greg Wachinski. Pace car's down and away. Geico restart zone. 42 car off and away. Looks like the outside 13 car gets a better move. 10 car being pushed. 10 car comes down now. He's dropping behind the 42. Will the bottom line actually get it going? Nope. There he comes from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but Sebastian Manchandon did not get a good restart. I don't know if he left it in third or what, but you saw there was a huge gap when the green flag dropped. And that really checked up the inside lane. It's a good thing we didn't get caution number 2 right there. Everyone was able to give him enough space and keep away without causing a huge stack up.
Caution 2's still out there. She wants vengeance. She says she wants the same love and respect Caution 1 got. And I'm just trying to get her to hang out and just be patient, but she's here to cause a ruckus. So we got one car coming down the pit road there, serving a black flag. That's going to be as a result of the earlier skirmish. 13 car, though, taking the demanding lead, getting it done right now. The 83 car. That's going to be Matty Raymond, and he is trying to find a suitable spot. He doesn't want to come down until he gets in the lead. Now, he's got the 64 car. He's going to be pushing him all the way. That's Jerry Walters. As soon as he gets clear, is he going to wait? Nope, he doesn't even wait on Jerry to clear. He comes down and saves himself. Now, Jerry's stuck to the outside, praying that the 5 is going to give him a little bit of a boost, but that's the Greg Wachinski. And I don't know if these two guys eat at the same table or not, but we're going to see right here. Is Greg going to push Jerry, or is Greg going to save himself? I don't know, man. What are you thinking? I'd rather you call. Oh, I think we just answered the question. Hey, we don't even have to leave it out there long. Now Jerry's going to find himself by himself. It's everybody scrambling, trying to go low. 12 car comes down. He's going to slide in before the 5, but not going to allow the 64 to do the same. But here comes the 6. He's going to try. Matty Sisler, he says, why not, Jerry? Why not you and me? Let's get the band back together. See if we can't retake it. Let's go back to number 1, baby. I don't know if they're going to have enough gumption to do it. The 6 car still holding firm.
Yeah, just like we saw in that first run, once the SRM cars started lining up, the outside lane just disintegrated.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're seeing teammate working together here. Like, reminds me of the 2018 fall Talladega race with all the Stewart Haas cars.
Man, Daytona, you comparing it to Talladega. We're gonna try to get together and get along, you and me. I don't know that. We're gonna have to see. But just like that outside 2 became 3. Devin Baker joins the fray. He's trying to get a little bit of draft love getting pulled in by the 6 assistant. It's not happening right now, but he is in that spectrum. He's being pulled up. Got a little benefit from the side draft as well as the top draft. The wall in there is a buffer. Now, with 3 cars, that's going to change the luck of these guys right here, James. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold the 3 at bay. The question is going to be if the 3 gets up to the front, is that 64 car going to stay high, or is he going to ditch his teammates and go down low?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's amazing that they've put together as good of a run as they have right now. Just kind of the little trio that could right there, but you see the energy from that inside lane, it's starting to rear its ugly head, and they're starting to fall down the order here.
Yeah, these guys still not able to actually reel it all the way in and make it tight. That's one thing they're going to be struggling to do. But the field's not tight either. The 25 car, he finds himself way back by himself. Not sure how that makes him feel. But that's Jeff Engler. He just came out of the pits. I think Jeff might have been getting damage fixed or maybe serving a black flag, not sure. Right now it seems that pit road is clear, though. We are showing 2 vehicles that are not in the race right now. That's the 15 of Jake Saddington as well as the 4 of Matt Brith. But back on the racetrack, Green Flag Racing continues getting a bump from the 64 from the 6. And Matty Cisna, he is trying to do everything he can to push his buddy, Jerry Walters, up to the front, not being able to talk anybody else into joining them as these 3 still stay high by themselves. These guys were high when it wasn't cool to be high. Like,
yeah.
I'm at now.
Yeah, I just don't think we're going to see anyone even consider jumping up with them for a long time. You know, we're not even a quarter of the way through the race, so there's just no real reason to try to jump out of line and get yourself up in the outside. Ooh.
But you know, there's something to be said about running high. If they could just convince maybe one more guy, it might be that a pack of 4 is what it takes to get them faster than that bottom row. The guys at the bottom row, they know what they're doing. They're just trying to keep their cars cool, keep their heads cool, keep it above the double yellow, and just be there at the end and try to avoid the big one. Well, that's boring. Let's go double the scrap up, man. Let's get out here. Let's make it a race for the entire length of the race. You know what I mean? It's not me with you. It's me versus you.
Yeah, but, you know, when it comes to these races, I'm always of a similar strategy and thought process as what we're seeing. Like, I'm always hanging out middle of the pack, back of the pack, and just trying to ride and fuel save as much as I can. You know, that's going to be the bit where the advantage comes into play, is when they bring it in for their pit stop. You know, save more fuel, that means you get to take less fuel on your stop and be faster and try to get yourself some track position that way. And I feel like we're seeing a similar kind of idea with a lot of the cars right here. You know, as fun as it is, you know, mixing it up and getting involved and making moves, there is still a checker flag to be won, and you're always trying to do what strategy gets you to taking that checker flag, and this is the strategy that puts you in the best position to do so. And yeah, you know, it's boring as a driver when you are sitting there riding and fuel saving, and it's not as fun to watch for us, but you know, when the checker flag is there, you've got to do everything you can to take it, and this is what we're seeing from everyone here.
Lots of cars now joining the high.
Yeah.
Another car, that lap car, the 144. He's going to make it sporty. Going to be 3 wide no matter how you look at it right now. But it looks like the main 3 became 2 as they got by. The 144 on the inside. The 12 still going to go high. These guys are going to be bunched up, trying to keep their ideal alive, and I appreciate it. They even had the 45 car pop up with them just for a little bit. Paul Olsen trying to see how it felt, but then he decided to go back where he come from. But now they've got the 144 back up behind him. Now, he's a car who is currently being scored just 3 laps down. And now I think he is back on the run. Nope.
Yeah.
He goes.
That's surprising. I figured he would have been able to stay up there a lot better.
And Baker drops down. They're just trying to take the wind out of myself. They're just trying to make me talk. Just like, man, it's going to be a slow race here tonight. We got everybody out here just tucking behind the other car. Everybody's hoping nothing really big goes on. Everybody's just wanting everybody to be good and hoping that Thelma Sue cooks that meatloaf right there for dinner because that's what she's good at, and everybody knows that their stomachs can handle meatloaf. Sorry. I got carried away right there.
Yeah, and
I just talked to myself.
And this is how, to me, super speedway races always tend to play out one of 2 ways. You either get dumpster fire crash fest, or races like this where it's much more strategy based and you're riding around turning laps and saving fuel until like the last 10 laps or so. When you don't have, you're good to go on gas, you don't have to save, and you can just focus forward and try to take whatever you can get. So it'll heat up here in about 40 to 50 laps.
Oh yeah, okay. There'll be a race to get fuel. But in the meantime, let me ask you this question, right? And this is the exact reason why stage racing was actually created. Is because what we're seeing right here. Appreciate it, 42. Now he's going to pop up high, throw his name in a hat as a bid to go lead this thing. That is going to change up the mix. And remember, when it's more than 2 cars, it's definitely going to get sporty. 42 car uses that top group to get up front. Nalachian, Urquizio now, he just used those guys to jump frog. Now you see how strong and powerful that draft is. It's going to let other drivers know if they feel like they just want to commit for a little bit of time, they could actually get up there and get enough speed to leapfrog this thing. Now, if they don't do this more often, I think they're not going to get a chance to appreciate just how powerful the draft is. But the one thing I wanted to ask you, back to where I was at before that move happened, because that was pretty exciting, was, this is the reason stage racing was created. It was created because we would come out here and you got a 500-mile race, and you do this, guys fall back, they never have an opportunity to catch up. There's no caution, there's no catch up. Sometimes at the end of these races, there'd be 2 cars on the lead lap. But now the stage racing gives everything an opportunity to kind of recongregate, if you will. It's just like we made it, we cooked it, and now we're just going to let it sit there and congeal. Which are you a fan of? Because obviously you're younger than I am. You have that in your favor. So you were probably more born into stage racing. I mean, but this is not. So you more of a favor of this type of racing, or you like stage racing better?
Well, I'm not that young. I spent more time watching NASCAR before stages than with stages. So
okay, awesome.
You're not entirely incorrect.
So it's
a good chunk of the reason. Yeah, a good chunk of the reason why stages existed was, good old advertisement breaks. It definitely does help spice the racing up, and it helps out those that are kind of towards the middle of the field. It gives them more of an opportunity, a guaranteed time to be able to work on their cars and make whatever changes. But if it was my ultimate choice, I would definitely have no stages and just let things happen naturally. It feels, it's more genuine, and it's just a little more satisfying when you see the race play out naturally. Obviously we don't have a whole lot of side-by-side racing, although now we're 3 wide here for a second. The 06 trying to make up some ground, he just tucks back into line.
Damn Skippy, I'm with it. Well, let's get it.
It's definitely, stage racing is more exciting, quote unquote, but it's not the natural way it's playing out. So even if it is a little more exciting to watch, it doesn't feel as enjoyable to me. As crazy as it may sound, I much prefer this than that.
All right, 4 wide to get up top. Anything more than 2 is a party. These guys are making it just that. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, James. Totally get it. Not a big fan of the stoppage, but totally understand it gives everybody a chance to win. No other sport stops in the middle of the dang game and gives trophies away. That's all I got. No one declares a winner in the middle of the game. But anyway, here we go. Looks like that 86 car is going to go back low again. He's been definitely trying to find himself a line. Now getting a little sporty here. We're getting that accordion effect a little bit down because when that 4th car popped up, it allowed those guys to kind of get a little bit of speed. Now they kind of seem to be a little bit disorganized, and it's really got them at the tail end of the field, up high though. But it's still, I love the fact that these guys are sticking with it. Yeah, we're watching Devin Baker. He's got a concrete magnet right there in his passenger seat. So every time he gets up high there, that wall just, it pulls him up there and kind of sheet metal rapes him a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they got these composite bodies, so it's not going to cause too much damage. Just a little bit of a, I don't even think you'd call it a glancing blow. It's just the tiniest little scrape, but enough to shoot out some sparks to get our attention.
Yeah, so as long as he's not hitting it with that right front, that's totally different than just glancing off the side. Back row, though, still trying to make it happen. It complete discombobulation with the field. Everything is broken up. 1 car left down low, still trying to figure out how this is going to work out. 42 car goes high. Latching, he takes Matty Raymond with him. 2 was the car that got left behind. That's what we're looking at. Okay, that is a lap car. That makes total sense. But boy, did the field come alive on that one. Still trying to get itself settled down. I mean, this congregation does not like ripples. I'll just say that.
No, it doesn't. Now we see that outside line forming with a few new players. Or we did.
Nice one of yours, James.
Yeah, Matty Budd tried to jump out and join the 12, and the 12 found himself a clean spot in the inside line and took it. But Matty Budd able all by himself to leapfrog the 12. Impressive move.
Yeah. Indeed. Green flag races and continue, man. It's like we've been blessed with this right now. Drivers doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Keeping this thing down to a single file roar. While we got it at a little bit of a null here, let's take a step away. Let's get some green flag sponsorship laps in, maybe a side-by-side. that will come back and be postured for possibly green flag pit stops.
You've got what it takes. Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
And we are back just in time. I hope you've been watching our continued coverage of tonight's ARCA Sparks 150. We're watching the G&G guys now up top running the show as the 24 Kenny Powell had actually moved up. Ruben Phelps had joined those guys, if you have seen on our commercial break, but once he got to the top, he kind of exercised his initiative, dropped down low, and now here comes the 10 car. Chris Rivera, he's going to drop up. And now, guys, you got 6 cars here possibly in this breakaway, but the 45 car, Paul Olsen's going to drop down. Devin Baker's going to move up. That outline is still not been able to get the congregation that they need in order to make a charge for the front. They keep getting everything almost, James, but then right there, they missed the catalyst, and it doesn't come together. But right now, one of the strongest moves that it's had, Chris Rivera now, he is moving, being pushed by none other than the 24 Kenny Powell. These guys trying to get back up front. And that's what I think is better about it. I think it's better when we're 2x2 here, trying to make it happen. And we are still some 30 laps off of green flag pit stops, maybe 35 before we come into the window.
Yeah, but this is the best spot that the outside line has been in some time. Now we got a bit of a rival for the SRM contingent with the G&G boys up there. Is Powell giving a heck of a push to the 10 car right there.
Well, there's something to be said about Superspeedway driving, and you're looking at some of the best guys in the series for doing just that, and that's why that 24 car is actually able to make a difference by pushing or shoving the 10 car up front. These two have been doing this together. I mean, they're like peanut butter and jelly. So what we would say is peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. That's what we're going to call Severa and Powell when they get together there. Peanut butter jelly time. I love it. He didn't abandon him. I think right now Powell knows that he is still going to get shoved from the rear. So his goal is to get clear enough to get down in front of the Severa, and that's exactly what he does.
You called that perfectly. Like a play-by-play. It's almost like you're the play-by-play guy.
Oh, molasses mouth with the hot takes. But yeah, definitely, that was a beautiful move there. And it's got to make you feel better because now, not only does Powell have the lead, they've got some insulation between themselves and the other guys. And that's going to be a big deal. Devin Baker now, he is still up top, trying to find him a new way to get the man back together. Paul Olsen, who just utterly abandoned his teammates, now finds himself in the rear by himself. I don't know if that was by design or just, Paul not paying attention. Do better, Paul.
Yeah, I think Paul is still trying to work his way up from from being stuck in the back of the pack thanks to the incident back on lap 1.
I don't know, man. He was up there when those G&G guys started to make that run. Looks like we got a car coming down pit road. That's not good. Jerry's coming in. This is a little premature. Don't think this is going to be... Maybe he's slicing it in a different direction. Maybe he knows how many tires he has left, and maybe he is going to split that cycle and come in different, but I don't see that car going up and down. Not like it should.
Well, let's keep in mind that he was leading the outside line for a long time, so he burned a lot more fuel than a lot of the guys around him. So it makes sense that he had to come in just a little bit early.
Yeah, indeed. Sorry, being visited by my lovely wife bringing snacks up to the booth. Sorry, James, she didn't bring anything for you.
Darn it.
That's okay. Maybe you should just pray harder. Do better, James.
It's fine. I got my own snacks right here.
Okay. Sorry.
Sadly, Munch's crackers.
Sadly, Munch's crackers. I love it. 24 car still doing what it needs to do to get it done. Kenny Powell leading the way through the straights. Coming up on is going to be another lap car. That's going to be the 144. He's probably not enjoying it, but yep, there they go. They're going to go by this guy. Keeping the field together. It's going to be 3 wide here. Hopefully, it can keep it tight. A little bouncy. Everything seems to be checking out okay, but this is going to be one of those great opportunities to put this thing in a bad way. But looks like we get through that okay. Now everybody's going to be lining up because we're still going to be sitting at about 20 laps until it's going to be time to get ready. Well, I say 15 laps we'll start getting the teams together. That's when we're going to start looking to say, hey, I'm going to be stopping on this lap. And you want to get the guys that's going to be going with you because that's important. Whatever lap you come in, Oh, and just like that, it's before I even started. Green flag pit stops are underway. The whole field comes down. Everybody trying to get it wrangled. We did step away just in time for this. And here it is giving you direct coverage as everybody is trying to come down to their spot. I'm going to let you know if anybody was caught otherwise. Got no green flags. The only flag we're showing right now is the repairs required flag that Jake Saddington has. But we are hosting a lot of cars down here on pit road right now. Dustin Baker's be trying to come down.
Good stop for, it looks like the top half of the field, but there's a big gap right between that. I can't quite make out that car, but yeah, that's a big gap. Yeah, the second half of that pack, they are in a bad place. They are out of the draft of this lead pack. So now the lead pack is 2 G&G cars and 4 SRM.
Yeah, we're wrapping up green flag pit stops. Looks like the rest of the field is joining the field. Now it's just the time to try to see if we can put this all back together again and make it make sense, because barring some caution, man, this is going to be the way we're running for the foreseeable future. And we still got 20. Go ahead.
Look at... I thought these two might have pulled off their pit to perfection, but they're just barely going to lose the lead draft here.
And that can be disheartening because there's only going to be room for one of them, you know, if it gets back together. One of you is going to get the lucky dog. One of you is going to have to get the wave around. So you're going to have to make a decision should the caution come back out. Now, no caution comes out, that's a deficit. And I think everybody knows how it feels when you have a deficit.
And there's nothing more disheartening than when you're losing the lead draft. It's such a helpless feeling. Like the pain you feel just watching your competition and your ability to battle for the win just slip by. As whoa, is Matty Raymond coming back down? Oh no, he just got super loose.
And yeah, he's going to find himself in a situation that he is going to have to pedal back in order to keep that draft as well as these guys now.
Wow.
As you watch him, he kind of gets shoveled out of line there. He goes below the double yellow, gets it back collected, comes back up. Now he's got to get back up and try to catch that pack again. These are not Canadian geese. These are professional sim racers here. So it's a little bit different once you kind of get bounced out of the draft. Nobody's going to go with you. You know, if you're lucky, you'll have somebody will accompany you. As we're watching the 5 car, he is going high. Not sure what's happening here. These guys are struggling just to stay in line.
Yeah, I don't understand this. You'd think they'd be trying to get single file as quick as possible.
Or maybe they're trying to get their group together by letting the others go. Maybe that's the tactic there.
Yeah, but they're costing themselves so much time doing this, and when you're already having to run down the lead draft, any more time you cost yourself could potentially be race ending here. Like, you just can't afford to waste any time.
Well, you know, Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody has a plan to get punched in the face.
Amen to that.
And I don't know if Mike Tyson said that or not, but somebody that got punched in the mouth said that. And other people that got punched in the face agree with it. So I ain't never been punched in the face, but I think it sounds pretty good. So I'm just going to take your word for it. They stick to
Yeah,
my plan.
I think you are correct. As far as what I know, that is a Mike Tyson quote.
Yeah. They don't want to misquote Mike Tyson. Last thing you need is him showing up to your broadcast.
Right.
True story, because you know I'm going to throw you under the bus. I'm like, yeah, Mike, James said it. I'll tell you, Zach, he said it lap 52, Northwest Speedway, right there, that 37 car was coming into the pits. I remember it, yeah. And Kobe laughed. Kobe laughed out loud.
That's fair.
It'll be something like that. Second pack, though, slowly closing the gap in on that first pack, doing exactly what draft racing does. Now, I think this is actually showing the more effective part of the draft than what we were actually witnessing earlier. Seeing the side-by-side, but now seeing these guys once they are nose to tail and tucked in nice and tight, watching their ability to reel in that lead pack. And that's going to be pivotal because they're going to be bringing with them, James, some momentum. And the question is, what do you do with the momentum that you bring into the draft? I'll let you answer that one.
If you got that momentum, you're hanging a right and trying to go straight by and take as much time as you can. Like, especially since we're good to go now. You don't have to worry about fuel saving. Now it's go time.
Did you see that? Did you see what just happened? That lead pack right there, when those guys pop out to the back like that, that's just like throwing out a drogue chute. That's going to slow that lead pack down so much. And look at how they're broken up now.
Yep.
That is, if that second pack sticks together, they would have the momentum that they would need to actually go by these guys. And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe the 10 and the 24 are trying to slow down the lead pack so they can actually jump out in front of the Crusade.
Oh,
there it is. You see the similar speeds right there. Now everybody's getting mixed up into together. There's the 3 wide. You got the 83 falling back to the inside. The 10's going to go up high. He's going to try to take the momentum of the 41. 41's going to bump. Watch the 24. He's going to be trying to figure out. Nope. Close the door. Not going to let the 030 in. There's no love right there. There's not teammates. He needs to get high if he's going to want to try to support his GG teammate. Nope. You can't do it. He's socked in. Still trying to find it. There he goes. Pops up. Maybe too little, too late. Here comes Wachinski. He's going to bang the 10 to 10 now. Going to try to get his legs. And there he is, banging the 24. And that's how it starts. That's how my sister was born. Here we go, coming around the high side.
All right. Well, on that note, we got Craig Roffey jumping up to the outside. Oh, it's on now. No fuel saving, no riding around, 20 laps to go. It is go time. Yeah, we got the G&G contingency up here, and Craig Roffey leading them all by himself. His rogue Sim Sports teammates are not up here in the lead draft.
Seeing just how many now come up front before they drop down. And there they go, just like that. Single file, going to take the low line. Got a little trouble there for the 12 of Devin Baker. He doesn't know where he fits in. 27 car slides by him. There's Derek Jacobs. Here comes the 45, Paul Olsen. 3 wide situation right here. That's where he gets real sporty, guys. But they put it back together just nice. The 45 goes by the 6. And here we go. 2 definitive groups now. Hoping that bottom line can kind of get reconstructed and maybe pull that top line back in. But like you said, with less than 20 laps to go, you got to be feeling that sense of desperation right now because you got to close that gap. You cannot allow these guys to run by you on the inside. Maybe, look, Devin Baker definitely missed the boat. He's going to be swimming back to the motherland all by himself.
And he hit the wall again off 2, and I think it was a much harder contact than we'd seen from him earlier in the race.
We've been rooting for Devin all night, hoping he could kind of keep it together. He has been right in the middle of so many pivotal moments. You know, he has been that guy in the Banga gangs here tonight.
Oh, yeah,
He'll smack it the wall.
Yeah.
Olsen is definitely found a spark to ignite his career. I mean, I'll say that. Him and the 12 car, these guys, I mean, they've been all over it. Probably the most profound sponsors of that carbon fiber composite that these cars are made of. Now here comes that bottom
dropping
line.
down.
And here they go. You see, they're lining them back up again here. 18 laps to go. This is where it gets real sporty. If you're looking for a big one, I'd be searching somewhere right amongst these guys in the middle, because that's where it's going to want to grow its seed. Almost spawning like a tornado. You can kind of see it. The bakings of it happening off in the distance. Right there, you can see the supercell starting. The 5 car kind of comes down. He is kind of starting the catalyst. The 10 car hoping that maybe he can just get out in front of this thing and it'll be okay. But you got winds coming, different temperatures. Some cars have been cold all night. Now they're starting to warm up. Some cars have been hot. They're cooling down. And this whole thing is going to come together right here. Look at this. I feel it right there. You can feel the tension. There's a 3 wide situation.
Ooh.
That in I don't know what is.
Yeah, Craig Ruffy getting absolutely hung out to dry. He's in the circle hole, and he's going all the way to the back.
Yeah, but he ain't giving up just yet. He's going to try to push his eyeball. Ooh, the 10 down below the double lines. That's going to definitely send his car in a weird condition. Now 3 wide up front. 6 car finds himself out low. He's going to try to get anything, whether low or high. 10's waiting on some help anywhere, sending out a mayday. 24 car coming down. 5 cars got to get clear. They don't have the momentum that they need. Bottom low's gonna get a full run off of this. The 05 car is gonna try to hold his own. Is he gonna have enough, or is he gonna get left out? These guys now trying to come back, trying to get in, maybe sucking up. Is there a bottom draft? Is there a side draft to be had? Trying to stay off of the wall, coming down lower, trying to find it just below that solid black line. You watch that line and you watch that double yellow, and that's what you're going to find about everybody from this point on. Bottom row trying to get as close to that double yellow as they can. That top row trying to toe the line that is definitive, trying to keep it all the way around. The closer he can keep it, the better they'll be. Christopher doing just that, now gaining a following, starting to build up that MAGA momentum. But the 6 car, he's still there. Ruben Phelps with his band of croonies. He's got Lachlan Uquizio. He's got Brenton Henderson. These guys right there with Manhensden. How do you say his name? I don't want to screw it up again.
Manshenden.
Look at me. I can read. Reading is fundamental.
In this outside lane, they're going to basically have to do it all by themselves, because you cannot...
He could have got in front of the front. That stacks up the GG guys. The caution is going to come out. So are a lot of tissues. This right here is just not going to be easy to unpack, but right there into the draft, and the entire G&G dream goes up in flames just like that. Let's unpack it. Greg Wachinski.
Oh.
He has a meatball flag. Jake Saddington, he has a meatball flag. Kenny Powell, he has a meatball flag. Derek Jacobs, he has a meatball flag. Paul Ozen, I feel like Oprah Winfrey in here. You got a meatball flag. You got a meatball flag. You got a meatball flag. Wow, guys, I don't know what else we got to unpack, but I know what they got to upload, and that is they're going to upload all their vehicles onto the carriers, because it looks like the G&G night has come into oh, wow. Just a complete, oh, man. And the points that were lost in that giddy up.
Yeah.
Severa, he's still in it. Look, Ruben Phelps, Lachlan Uquizio, Chris Severa, Brandon Harris, these guys are still in it. Manhensden, I mean, we still got ourselves a lot of racing to be done. Let's take a step away here. We'll get a word from our sponsors. This will be the last one. This will take us into the final of this thing, and we'll unpack it all once we come back.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back, just in case you didn't see that. We actually displayed it for you while we were under commercial break. Don't know if we're going to have time to go back and revisit it because lights are out on the pace car. We are literally 11 laps to go in this thing, James, before, it is actually called. And I don't think we're done with cautions yet, man. What the heck just happened, though?
Yeah, it was weird. Kenny was giving Chris a push, and then all of a sudden he backed off really quickly, and Wojcicki had no time to react, and then Netcode decided to rear its ugly head, turn the 24, and that's all she wrote. I feel like if Netcode had stayed away, it would have been a huge checkup, but I don't think anyone would have gotten turned. I think they would have been fine.
Well, that was not the case. And unfortunately, it did end the night for pretty much, maybe 80% of the G&G guys. They still got a couple cars down there. Ruben Phelps, though, right where he's been for pretty much the majority of the second half of the race. You got Lackney and Acquisio is going to be right there with him, starting on this outside there, kind of quarter pole, and then Chris Severa is going to be lining up beside Brenton Henderson on the back end, and Sebastian, he's right there in fifth with Matty Raymond in sixth. Matty Budd is going to be in seventh with Ryan Barber in eighth. And the reason why I'm saying this, because if you look at him, Matt Raffy, Matthew, this is any of these guys' race. Great fly back out.
Phelps got a huge push from Severa.
Actually getting a shove from the 10 car, trying to get these guys in a position that they can actually solidify the position up front.
Yeah, right now this is the perfect scenario. If you're yeah, this is the perfect scenario for SRM. You've got one car controlling the inside, and you have three cars controlling the outside. You're basically putting everyone in a blockade of sorts. Now, the only thing that can undo it is some really aggressive moves coming from deeper in the pack. Like, there is a little bit of room to make a three-wide maneuver right here. We could see it.
Oh, come on, baby. 10 to go at Daytona. It's going to be three wide. There's no way. And look, that 13 hits his own teammate. that wraps up pretty much the
Oh
majority
my
of the field. Caution
goodness.
comes out, but guess who didn't get touched? 2 cars
Wow.
not scathed at all. Well, 3 cars not scathed at all, but everybody else behind him, wow, total pandemonium. Let's take a rewind this and look at exactly what occurred as the 42 car looking for a spot to go did not find one.
That
And when he could not find a spot to settle, well, the rest of everything just went berserk. The 13 right there hits him, gets him candy wampus. He's into the wall. That's going to end bad. Brings the 83 and the 13 down into the 40. He fights back. Down lower than that, the 7-3 goes below the double yellow. The 5 car gets caught into him. The 030 gets caught into him. You got guys going across the grass, and there's more contact between Devin Baker and the 030 as he thought he was clear. And so with all of that, and I go back and I look at the analytical scoreboard, and this is what I see. I see Kim Arafi right there picks up a meatball flag. And that's it. Everybody else already had one. Wachinski's still behind the wall. Saddington, Powell, as well as Oates, and everybody else still on the racetrack with the exception of Matic Breath. Him and Derek Jacobs have actually already loaded up and gone home. But, guys, we still got to put this thing back together, and we still got 8 laps to go before we can actually call this one good. So I don't think anybody's feelings are hurt. Still got a chance to hurt people's checkbooks. Still got a great opportunity to destroy people's point standings. But feelings, yeah, I think we're done with feelings.
Man, that truly was the big one. Like, half the field just got Thanos snapped off the track.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the big one or not.
I mean, it's... I don't think they can make a bigger one because I don't think there's enough cars circulating the track anymore.
Yeah, I think we still got a shot at it. I think we can still tear up a greater percentage of the field. So
That
percentage
is
of
true.
the field that was torn up, I think we can still tear up a bigger percentage because we got a lot of cars that are out there or going to be out there racing for greatness on this thing. And I don't think any of these. I mean, it's Daytona. This is the center of racing excellence. You know, I mean, everybody has to win the Daytona race. Everybody has a chance to win it. So everybody has to win it. And you can't just sit back and say circa 5th place, 6th place, 7th place and think that, yeah, that's an okay. No, because nobody remembers. Well, yeah, that's it. Nobody remembers the guys that lost the Daytona 500. They only remember the guy that won it. So lots of opportunities to lose this thing and buy stock in losership if that's what you're looking for. But I don't think these guys that are here down here, I think these guys all understand, like they have an opportunity to see their name in lights and man, what would you do for that?
Yeah, that's always the question you gotta ask yourself here at Daytona. You know, we've seen instances in the past where, you know, guys doing everything they need to and not necessarily doing what they should do and making that move, like Austin Dillon on Eric Almirola in 2018, Cindric and Blaney in 2020, or 2022 rather.
Yeah, but perfect time to actually talk about, you know, because you're the TWRS. That's on these cars down here, and actually, there's something going on with this where there's a chance to win a subscription. So why don't you tell us about that here while the pace car doubles us up and get ready to take us back to Raceland?
Yep, the winner of tonight's race will get a 1-month subscription to Team Watson Racing Setup. So a lot of guys fighting for that. And we got our lovely coupon code down there in the bottom left-hand corner, Watspin39. Don't ask me how Watspin became a thing.
Well, hey, I mean, it all became a thing. It all. Well, what do they get from that? What are they gonna get?
You get 10% off at checkout for any of our individual setup packs.
And you guys are pretty much in the setups for everything right now. So that's awesome. That's it. Watch spend $39 at checkout for an additional 10% off all Team Watson setups. Lights off on the pace car. He's going to be getting up and out of the way, and we're going to get ready to put ourselves onto that wall of excellence that we've been referring to, because we are going to be 5 laps until the Daytona 150 is over for the ARCA Sparks. Pace car is getting up and out of the way. And here we go for one more time. Might not be the last time. Ruben Phelps, Matty Budd lead us through the Geico restart zone. Wish you know time to 10. Chris Severa going to be interesting to see if he receives a black flag for that. Was he the leader there? I think he was, but he definitely was the car that crossed the line first. Green flag's out, 5 laps to go. Severa up top.
We're wrecking again.
In the back, wrecking again. That's going to put that 40 car, Sebastian Maniston. I mean, he has seen better days right here now. It'll be hard pressed to get that one around. Let's look at it and see what happened again. On the restart, the 030 gets into the 40, who tags the 12 of Devin Baker. Man, that's going to be significant damage and trauma to those guys.
Yeah, it looks like the 12 was just a little bit off pace with the damage, and Rafi tried to go around the outside, and Manchandon was just close enough still to where they made contact and put us under yellow flag number 4.
Yep, Matty Cisna. He walks out of that with a green flag, with a black flag proper. No additions to the dreaded repairs required group, but we still are sitting pretty strong on that with Greg Wachinski, Kim Rafi, Jake Saddington, Kenny Powell, Paul Osen, Matt Brith, Derek Jacobs actually scored off the field. So this car, this 21 car field that we had here, slowly deteriorating. I think we have actually Devin Baker is going to be beat pretty good. He's beat up pretty good. So we'll be kind of watching to see what happens with this car, because right now he is in 11th place and he would be the last car on the lead lap. But he is definitely going to need some loving. McLovin. Don't know if there's a code for that. But man, this one's getting brutal, guys. A lot of incidents points. You know, guys usually come out here and they try to say, look, if I stayed clean, I could even pick up some incidents-free points. Not tonight. Looks like everybody out here has been touched by somebody. I feel like I'm at a Catholic priest convention.
Anyways, yeah, you know, I kind of called it earlier. You know, this is you know, Superspeedway races are either dumpster fires or they're single file pacing yourself trains until 10 to go, and then they become a dumpster fire. Yeah, we're getting the latter one here with goodness me, I don't even know how many cars we have left that are still have enough pace to really contend for the win.
Yeah, like I told you, we're not done tearing cars up yet. I mean, we still have, you know, by percentage, we still had a pretty good shot at it. Now you're looking at it and you're saying, man, we're down to, by attrition alone. I mean, look at the number of cars that we have out here that still have a shot at this thing.
Yeah, you got
I apologize to anybody I may have offended. I thought we were just, jokes were jokes. But Ryan Barber, got to give a big shout out to him. He's actually out here for the first time tonight, and he's going to finish in the top 5. Hands down. All he's got to do is stay away from Jerry Walters, and he'll finish in the top 5. Ruben Phelps is
Big Al.
definitely
I hope that isn't one last commentator's curse for the road here tonight.
No. But I'm going to say, Ruben is definitely got to be loving this, man, because all he has got to do right now is just, outrun everybody. Because if he can do that, which is what he's done for the last 2 restarts, behind him has been nothing but chaos.
Yeah, and you
somewhere.
Yep.
Matty Cisco still having to come back for a black flag. That's going to all but take his rack off the wall. But man, it's whoever wins this thing, they've earned it. True story. There's been a lot of things that have happened here tonight on this stretch of road. We started this thing with 21 cars. Like I said, down now to just 9 cars on the lead lap. Lights off on the pace car. He's got us doubled up. Guys scrambling all around the racetrack, still trying to get back around. Some of these guys are going to be trying to fix damage. Most of them just trying to catch up with the pack just so they can try to finish this thing. Because if you're finishing right now, you're winning. Think about what I just said. If you're finishing this race, you're winning. There's nobody on this racetrack who is under their own power that does not win tonight. Now, I said it only mattered about the first car. Yeah, you got me. But when we come down to it, if you're actually able to come out here and drive that son of a bitch back up onto the racetrack to the truck when you're done, you won.
Man, looking from the roof cam on Craig Raffy's car and seeing that hood of his just shaking its groove thing. that can't be aerodynamic efficient.
Oh, Flappy. Wow, but you know what? He's still winning. He's been through a lot. Pace car's down in a way, going through the Geico restart zone. Ruben Phelps getting us up. Ruben getting beat by the 73 up high just a little bit. Matthew Budd keeping her point strong. He's got a little help coming up by the 0.5, but you know what? Ruben's not going to relinquish it. He is going to stay low and let her go. He's got the 1-3 coming up, supporting him. Side by side, these guys are. Somebody's going to take it 3 wide.
Oh, like right now, mentioned and looking.
Oh, the block didn't. Ooh.
Robert's got some damage on that 0.5 car, and I think that's really starting to slow him down and slowing everyone down on the outside lane. We go, white flag.
Take another go at it with the white flag out. He is waiting on the 5 car to get reconstructed so he can come back. He knows what his mistakes were the first time. Phelps doing everything he can, understanding the distance that he has between that bottom yellow and that top black line. And here we come down the backstretch. These guys sizing each other up, slowly encroaching down, pushing these guys to that double yellow, trying to get the benefit of that side draft.
Whoa, what a push to Barber!
Not his final move. He's still got to defend the counter.
Ooh.
And there it is. The 6 car comes down low on the inside. Will the 73 be able to close it? He has got to try to find some help. There. Oh, just like that, it's going to be done. Comes up just a little bit short. 6 car. Ruben Phelps gets it done. The 73 of Matt Budd is going to unfortunately come in second place. Brendan Henderson's going to take third with Sebastian Meniston in fourth. Ryan Barber is going to come across in fifth with Jerry Walters in sixth. Likely and Acquisio is going to finish in seventh with Craig Raffey in eighth. Ninth place shows Matty Cisna. In the top 10 rounded out by Perry and that is. But yeah, Chris Severa is going to come in 11th, 12th place Devin Baker. 13th is going to be Jeff Engler. 14th, Kim Raffey. 15th place Matty Raymond. 16th, Paul Olsen. 17th, Greg Wachinski. 18th, Derek Jacobs. 19th place, Kenny Powell. And Jake Saddington is going to round out the top 20 with Matt Brith coming in 21st. Man, what a race here tonight as we're watching the 06 of Ruben Phelps celebrate a hard-fought victory. Definitely a long, hard, arduous journey he had to bring this thing home in first place. As we're watching him continue his celebration, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. We're going to be taking another step away. Going to get a word from our sponsors here. And then once we come back, we'll continue the post-race coverage. And I'm going to watch that right there. And I'm going to say after everything Ruben went through tonight, I'm going to go ahead and rate that burnout and celebration with a perfect 1-0-0. Nicely done. Nicely done. Hey, and it went out on a bang. So with that, let's go ahead and take a step away, get a word from our sponsors. We'll be back with our post-race coverage.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You've got what it takes. Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Hello, and welcome back to tonight's continued coverage of the ARCA Sparks 150. I'm your host, Big Al, and I'm joined in the booth by none other than Mr. Brenton Henderson. Brenton Henderson, Big Al, buddy, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Mike. Hey, was watching your performance here, and look, I'm working on that accent, trying to get it right. You know, if I'm gonna be the part, I wanna sound the part, I wanna feel the part. But watching your performance here tonight, you actually were the strongest qualifier out of the entire crew, and man, you stayed in there, and this was a dogfight. So, why don't you talk us through a little bit about what it was like down there in the trenches?
Yeah, mate. So hadn't really been able to practice this week, so came in with not really expecting much. Qualifying felt really well. Team did really well throughout the whole race. I felt like we were pretty strong. To be honest, I'm not really, too happy with myself towards the end. I was behind Lockie, and it seemed like he had just got sort of sucked in from the car below him, and he lost a bit of pace, and I ended up running right up his right quarter, and that unfortunately wrecked him, and I believe that took out Matty. So from a team perspective, I think we could have had a better run. I'd take ownership for that at the end. Hopefully Lockie and Matty aren't too upset with me, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with the performance and running with the team as well, which was we felt really good the whole race.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was a solid performance from you, and I'm totally stoked, and I bet you the guys are equally as excited about your podium finish here tonight, man. So who you shouting out for your third place finish overall?
Yeah, mate. So first of all, go Team Watson Racing Setups. They've taken us on board this year. I believe I've only had 2 races so far with the beautiful livery on the car, but pretty proud to be a part of it. And and also Scotcher Race Fuels, Cut Stickers, also the SRM boys as well. I'm sure Rubes and Matty will talk more on the sponsors at the end, and also Alopecia Foundation, TWRS Australia, and also Warfighter Coffee.
Roger that, man. Congratulations again. And like I always say, don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
That was Brenton Henderson, the third place finisher here tonight. Next overall, we're going to be joined in the booth by none other than Mr. Matthew Budd, the second place finisher here tonight. Matthew Budd, Big Al up in the booth. How you feeling tonight, sir?
Yeah, mixed feelings, but for overall pretty good.
Mixed feelings. Explain. Do explain, please, sir.
I'm leading, coming to the checker, before into turn 4. So yeah, it's one of those things. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You stay on the bottom or you block. Either way, the run was pretty strong from Rubes there. So I wish I could have held on for the win.
Yeah, definitely. It did put yourself in a unique position, but you were actually kind of to capitalize on it a little bit. How much work did it take for you guys to put yourself in that position to be there hangling? I like that, hangling. Battling for the win here on the last lap.
And we're just sort of working together. I was hanging down the back most of the race, just trying to avoid all the potential carnage, and luckily it ran pretty green, so it was a decent race. But yeah, just sort of towards the end, the way those last couple of cautions fell, especially like the third to last one, I think that was just, that put me further up. I think we had a bit of a, I don't know if it was a bit of net code or something within some of the team guys, so it just sort of created the situation where I was able to leapfrog into a position, make some moves, and out from there.
Well, Super Speedway racing does not disappoint. Who are you shouting out tonight for your unique second place finish overall?
Got to shout out the boys at TWRS. They've been giving us a lot of help lately, and it's really good. It's a really good relationship we're forming there. Scorcher Race Fuels and Cut Sticker Co. They're just great guys helping us out. And TS Australia and the Alopecia Foundation as well are on our cars. And, big love to those guys.
Well, congratulations again to you for your second place finish. Boss, us always say don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week as well.
Cheers, guys.
That was Matthew Budd, our second place finisher. And now we are joined in the booth by not only our winner, but our overall points leader here in the ARCA Sparks League, Mr. Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps, Al Nixon, how are you doing tonight?
Not too bad, Big Al. That was fun.
Yeah, it looked fun from your perspective. Other guys, maybe not so much so. You come out week in, week out, and you make this look super spectacular, super easy, super fun. I mean, you make winning look good. I mean, tell us, how does it feel?
It feels good, but I mean, I know I'm not the most professional racers out there, but you know, I just know how to time things and it seems to work out, but you know, can't always go on me, but I obviously drive well too, so I won't say that, you know, I'm useless or anything, but I just, hey, it always works. Sometimes you just gotta play the defense and the offense sometimes. And that was tonight.
Yeah. And I'll say your timing is impeccable as well, sir. And tonight was definitely, it was no easy race. I mean, you started this thing all the way back in 8th place. You had to navigate through what would be considered no less than a troubling sea of problems. I mean, drivers bouncing left, right, so many drivers, so many incident points. But yet you emerged virtually unscathed, especially at the end. It was almost like you were on heaven's highway and there was just a sea of hell behind you.
Oh yeah, that mirror was full of chaos filled for the whole last 25 laps, I can tell you. But I think it's all back down to the team as well, because you know, we all back up each other. We always, you know, communication at the bare minimal, but you know, about the strategy. So you know, timing everything is key on yourself, but of course having that communication with teammates and other stuff like that, you know, that makes the difference too.
Man, you're leading your team, so how much time do you guys put in and week out to say perfect your strategies and come up with a plan? I mean, even though this race is a fixed race scenario, you guys are still house drivers driving for TWRS, and also you will get to elect to pass off your prescription for winning this thing tonight. So who are you going to send that to? I have you think about that, but that's got to be ultra competitive, right? Being all house drivers like that.
Oh, exactly. Like when it comes to strategy stuff, it's more like how many cars in the line is the most effective way to keep the speed up and all that sort of thing. How much fuel you're going to burn and gain and whatnot in a draft and not in a draft. But other than that, we don't really do a hell of a lot. We like run, you know, quite a few officials and try and work out a couple of things, but I mean, Superspeedway racing is a crapshoot anyway, so it's sort of a luck of the draw when it comes to strategies, because there's always going to be a crash, or you always got to think in that mindset that there's going to be some action, so you know, that what changes the whole race altogether.
All right, who are you going to gift your prescription to or subscription to?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. Well, it can't, obviously not a teammate, because we already freaking somewhat thing it, but I'll work that out. I'll work that out later on, and I'll can't think of it at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Well, who you shouting out here for your first place overall finish tonight?
Of course, you guys for the broadcast. Of course, SRM Australia and our sponsors of TWRS. Of course, Jury Watson and them. Of course, Scotch's Race Fuels, Cut 6 Sticker Co, Moondog, and our two charities of TS Australia and Australia Alopecia.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was none other than your winner here, Mr. Ruben Phelps. Ruben, thank you again. Good luck, and like I always say, I tell everybody this, man, go out, celebrate, do something positive, just end on a positive note. Just don't party too hard. And we'll see you more than likely on a podium here next week.
I think it's a whole team bloody party tonight, because podium, all three of us and all that, so I think there'll be many rounds of drinks this time.
Hey, man, have one on me.
I will. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for the ARCA Sparks special. Thanks to Kobe Jordan. He's our leader. He's our producer, putting it all together, as well as 131 Radio Network, as well as Scotch Fuels, as well as Doogie, and Team Watson Racing Setups. I'm your host, Big Al. On behalf of Inside Lane Productions and Everything Simulated, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and good evening.